Today, Christmas feels untouchable. Lights, trees, gifts, music, movies, it's everywhere. But here's something almost no one talks about. There was a time in American history when celebrating Christmas was not just unpopular, it was illegal. Yes, illegal. You could be fined for celebrating Christmas. You could be punished for decorating your home. And you could get into trouble simply for treating December 25th like a holiday. This isn't a myth. This actually happened. In the 1600s, early America was heavily influenced by Puritans, strict religious groups who believed life should be serious, disciplined, and controlled. To them, Christmas was not holy. It was suspicious. Why? Because the Bible never mentions December 25th as the birth of Jesus. Because many Christmas traditions came from pagan festivals. And because celebrations usually meant drinking, dancing, singing, and chaos. To the Puritans, Christmas looked less like worship and more like sin. So they did something extreme. In 1647, the Puritan-controlled government of Massachusetts officially banned Christmas. No decorations, no feasting, no special meals, no celebrations. December 25th became just another workday. And if you were caught celebrating, you could be fined.
Your revelry cost you dearly. Forgive me.
Imagine waking up on Christmas morning and being told to go to work or pay a penalty. That was real life in early America. Of course, people didn't simply stop celebrating. They adapted. Families closed their curtains. They whispered songs instead of singing. They hid decorations. They celebrated quietly at home. Christmas became an underground holiday, not loud, not public, but personal and secret. Authorities even forced shops to stay open on December 25th, just to prove it was not a holiday. The message was clear: celebrate, and you break the law. As time passed into the 1700s and early 1800s, Christmas still had a bad reputation, not because of religion, but because of chaos. In many American cities, Christmas was wild. Groups of people roamed the streets drunk. There were fights, vandalism, broken windows, and riots. Some gangs even demanded food and alcohol from wealthy homes. To city leaders, Christmas didn't look joyful, it looked dangerous. So instead of joy, governments associated December 25th with disorder. Police were often deployed in large numbers just to keep the streets under control. For a long time, Christmas wasn't magical, it was a problem. Then came the 19th century. After the Civil War, the United States was deeply unstable. The country was divided, tensions were high, and many federal territories were under military control. During this period, strict rules were enforced to prevent unrest. Large gatherings were discouraged. Alcohol was restricted. Public celebrations were limited. And yes, Christmas celebrations were affected. In some federal-controlled areas, Christmas was effectively canceled. Not nationwide, but real enough. No public festivities, no big gatherings, no celebrations that could threaten order. Imagine being told, "No Christmas this year. The government says so." That actually happened. What's even more ironic is that for most of American history, Christmas wasn't even an official holiday. It wasn't until 1870 that Christmas finally became a federal holiday in the United States. Before that, December 25th had no guaranteed legal status. After centuries of bans, restrictions, fines, and suspicion, Christmas was finally accepted. And once it was accepted, everything changed. Christmas trees became common. Gifts became tradition. Public celebrations exploded. The White House itself became part of the holiday spectacle. The same country that once punished Christmas turned it into a national symbol. And that's the real irony. America didn't reject Christmas because it hated joy. It rejected Christmas because joy is hard to control. Too emotional, too loud, too human. But people refused to let it disappear. They celebrated anyway, quietly at first, then openly, then proudly. Christmas survived bans, laws, fines, and presidents. So this story isn't just about a holiday. It's about control. It's about power. And it's about how culture survives authority. Throughout history, governments have always tried to control behavior. But controlling emotion, that's much harder. Joy is unpredictable. Joy brings people together. Joy creates identity. And that's why it so often becomes a problem for those in charge. The next time you see Christmas lights glowing in the streets, hear a carol playing in the background, or open a gift without thinking twice, remember this. There was a time in America when doing any of that could cost you money, when celebration itself was treated like a crime, when happiness had to be hidden behind curtains. For years, Christmas survived bans, laws, fines, police patrols, and political fear. It survived because people kept choosing it, and eventually, what began as resistance became culture. What was once punished became protected. What was once illegal became national.
Look at the top, it's sparkling.
All right, kids.
So ask yourself, did you know Christmas was once illegal in America? And if something as universal as Christmas could be banned, what else was erased, forgotten, or rewritten by authority? What other laws shaped everyday life and then quietly disappeared? If this story surprised you, take a moment to leave a like. It really helps more people discover these hidden moments from history. Subscribe if you want more forgotten chapters, the stories that were rarely taught, quietly erased, or simply ignored over time. And stay curious, because curiosity is what keeps history alive. The truth is, history isn't just dates on a timeline or laws written on paper. It isn't only about governments, rulers, or official decisions. History is about people, ordinary people making choices under pressure, people holding on to traditions, emotions, and identity when authority tried to take them away. It's about fear and courage, control and resistance, silence, and the moments when silence finally breaks. And that's why real history is never clean or simple. It's messy, it's emotional, it's human. And in the end, it's always far stranger and far more powerful than fiction.